Okay, so you're a little crooked, my apologies, but I'm just gonna go with this. We're in a different location. We are actually in my living room. This is my red nonfiction shelf. If you hear water falling, it's because our fish tank is, we have like a 40-gallon fish tank over here. If you hear thumping at all, goose ears. It's because my dog is all excited that I'm sitting here right next to his couch for the first time in forever. So this is going to be a weekend reading vlog of sorts, basically with the idea of checking these books off of my 23 books to read in 2023. So I'm hoping to be able to bust these out. I have several here, and I don't know in what order they'll be in when I read them, or in what order they came up in terms of my 23 books to read in 2023, but I will edit that in later. So technically I have read one book for the 23 to read in 2023, and that was Daisy Darker. That was my freebie because I didn't film the 23 to read in 2023 until February, and then didn't even bother posting it until March. So I'm a little behind. So that was my freebie. Daisy Darker follows Daisy Darker. I'll put an image here, where she has a secret. And we don't know what that secret is, but we do know is that she has a heart condition, that she feels her family has always considered her broken because of that heart condition. She ends up going to her grandmother's house, which is this really old house on a tidal island, for her grandmother's 80th birthday. Her whole family's invited to come. They all plan to, because how she feels is that everybody is basically and under the assumption that that grandmother, the matriarch of this family, is going to die when she turns 80. This is her 80th birthday. Even the grandmother knows this. It's something that she was told. And so everyone, this family's not well. They don't have a good relationship with each other. They're all hiding secrets. And they're all just basically coming to tolerate each other because they are interested in knowing what they're getting from grandma, essentially. So it's a very, but then at midnight on Halloween night, because grandma's 80th birthday is on Halloween, at midnight, grandma is found dead. And every hour after midnight, another family member dies. Exploring secrets is kind of a mystery thriller, murder mystery thriller-esque book. I really enjoyed it. It was my first 5-star read for the year. This year it was really fun. The twists I didn't expect. I really enjoyed the atmosphere that the writing gave me. There were aspects of it in terms of like, there's a lot of flashbacks. And at first I appreciated it. I really felt for Daisy Darker. But then as it went on, like about the middle, I started getting kind of like, okay, like, where's this going? And about the time I was feeling that, it started getting good again. So I really enjoyed it. So that was my first. I know that was my first, and it was my first freebie. I have 3 free reads overall. The other 20 books, I'll link my announcement of the 23 books I'm reading in 2023. The rest of the 20 books were randomly chosen by a number generator, and depending on the number, I had to go through my Goodreads and choose that book. So I have 4 of those books here. 3 of them I got from Interlibrary, and 1 of them I pre-ordered. So I think what I want to do is read one of the, as much as I would like to read the pre-order, that I technically read at any time this year. So what I'm going to do is first take off this book slip. I don't suggest doing that if you do get interlibrary loans through your library. I'm doing it because I'm the one that processes this for my library, and this came from my library. Well, not this book, but this interlibrary loan came from my library. I'm the one that deals with them. So long as I make sure to keep the book band with me, so I'm taking that off because it has my personal information on it, and that's annoying. Okay, so this one actually came from the Washington County Cooperative Library. They sent it to us, but that is Prime Meridian by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. As you can see, someone put the library barcode right on the character's face. This one's following Amelia. She dreams of Mars, the Mars of the movies, and the imagination and endless devastation of opportunities for a colonist with some guts, but she's trapped in Mexico City, enduring the drudgery of unkind metropolis, working as a rent-a-friend, selling her blood to old folks with money who hope to rejuvenate themselves with it, enacting a fractured love story. And yet there's Mars at the edge of the silver screen of life. It awaits her. So this is a novella. I haven't heard of this. I remember adding it to my Goodreads, but kind of forgot about it, and that was one thing that I was really excited about when it came to the random number generator for my 23 of 23, was that it would remind me of books. It would force me to read some books that I forgot about on there. So I'm going to read this one first, mostly because it's due back on the 27th of this month, so I have about 10 days to get it done. So I'm going to start on this one. There we go. This is a weird angle, but I finished Prime Meridian last night. It is the next day, and it's Saturday now. But basically this book follows Amelia. She's her life isn't going where she wants it to go. My battery is flashing. Okay. Basically she's not where she thought she would be. She thought she would be on Mars, essentially. This is a science fiction novella where the Earth now has 3 colonies on Mars, and Amelia wants to be on one of those colonies. There's different like visa packages or something like that, and she wants a particular package. However, she doesn't have the money for it. She is kind of just down on her luck when it comes to employment. She is a friend for hire. She's starting to sell her blood for plasma, and just things aren't going right. It was kind of just like a cold splash of reality. That was kind of scary. Of like, there's no real employment. Everyone's taking odd jobs. When her ex-boyfriend ends up showing up being one of her clients for Friender, the app that she uses to be a friend for hire, she starts really questioning, like, you know, the difference between who they were when they were dating and who they are now. So it was I felt bad for Amelia. It was a little heartbreaking. But I ultimately gave this 3 out of 5 stars. It was fine. Okay. Also not the best angle, but I need to get ready. So next, I am going to read Grimoire Noir by Vera Green Tea and Yana Bogat. This is a graphic novel, and I don't know if it's set in like the bayou, but ultimately we are following a young boy who lives in this world where all female people are witches, and someone ends up stealing his sister and their secrets to their town that he has to go figure out. So it sounds like it's going to be pretty dark. I'm pretty excited for it. Yeah. I think it should be fun. Right now, I'm currently just getting ready because we're going to go to breakfast with Brad's dad. Sorry, my cat's like having the zoomies right now. Brad went to go pick up his dad. I'm gonna finish getting ready. We'll see if I can like film something today. I know I have to edit at least one video. I was kind of thinking of filming another one today just to have it in the works for next weekend, but we'll see. Hi, we're back. So I read a couple of chapters, I think 3 chapters of Noir Grimoire. No, Grimoire Noir, there we go. I've changed, we had breakfast, it was nice. But yes, Grimoire Noir is about Bucky. We are following Bucky, who is an older brother to a younger sister that has disappeared. Everyone in this, I don't know where it's at, for some reason it's giving me Louisiana vibes. All the girls and women in this community are witches. Men and boys do not have magical powers. And his sister, it's kind of hinted that she's really powerful, but we don't know to what extent. She has the ability to make things change colors as well as disappear. And she has disappeared. But there's like, Bucky seems to believe that a coven might have taken her for some reason, but the police can't look into it because they have laws to protect those who have magical powers in this town. So yeah. It's a really relatively easy read. I love the art to it. It's really it's beautiful. It's really, I really enjoy it. I have changed because ultimately I'm going to be taking this chair. We have like 1, 2, 4 of them, and I'm going to be reupholstering it, refinishing and reupholstering it. So we're going to prime this with a primer that is able to withstand the varnish, and paint it this black color to match the kitchen. We're also going to reupholster this to a dark turquoise color. So that's what I'm going to do. I have one started. I just swept the floor because our Akita is furry. If you have an Akita, you know how much they shed, but yeah. So that's the plan now. I've been wanting to do this for a while and figure why not. So I'm gonna put down a drop cloth and dust these down, take apart the seats, and yeah.
I could sit around and wait all day. You lay easy on my mind. Like a candle, I just burn away. All we really have is time. All we really have is time. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you. I don't wanna waste it on anybody. Take it with anybody but you. What was it they used to say? Seeking you will find. There is nothing in you that is fading. All you ever do is shine.
Not a good angle, but you are precariously placed, and I need to chop some onions. So I finished Grimoire Noir. I ultimately really liked it. Like I said, I really enjoyed the artwork to it. I thought it was really dark and pristine and fluid. It was very noir, but I really enjoyed it. It was spooky. I feel like it could have been a longer series. Sorry if you hear a fan going. We have some bacon in the oven, and yeah. But yeah, I feel like it could have been a longer series. There were some elements to it that I wanted it expanded on. I also feel like it could have been a slower burn, slower mystery that we could have figured out. And there were some elements that ultimately didn't end up leading anywhere, where it's like, okay, well, what happened to it? It kind of was left unfinished. So some good tuna. I didn't get much B-roll today. I finished the first layer of the primer for the chairs, and then we ended up going and getting lunch at Taco Bell. This was my first time ever having Taco Bell. I should have blogged it and didn't even think about it until after I was done with it. I've never had Taco Bell before. So I had, what did I have? Crunch Wrap Supreme. That was pretty good. That was decent. And then a Dorito Loco taco with chicken and no cheese. So that was the thing. The Crunch Wrap had minimal nacho cheese, which was fine. I'm lactose intolerant, but I also, and sometimes I will suffer through and eat dairy. Cheese is usually a hit or miss for me because I don't tend to like the taste of cheese. I love pizza, I love mac and cheese, but that's because the cheese doesn't taste like cheese. Mozzarella doesn't have much of a taste. So, and I put enough garlic in my homemade mac and cheese that it doesn't matter. The bar for Taco Bell wasn't very high to begin with, but it definitely surprised me. So, the tart cherry freeze, I could go without. It was essentially a liquid Jolly Rancher, so that's my opinion on that. So yeah, we're just making some sandwiches for dinner, some tuna sandwiches with bacon on them. Should be really good. I think I'm gonna take you along with me tomorrow. Sunday is technically my first day of the week, working week, but I will take Mothkeeper and the other one I need to finish for this vlog with me, and I should be able to get it done. So. Hi. I am running late, so you're gonna be precariously placed. We'll see how long this lasts. I have a feeling you're gonna fall here any minute. I have to head to work. I'm running late. I did start Moth Keeper by Kay O'Neill last night. It seems relatively cute, like anything Kay O'Neill does. Okay, so yes, that was a fail. I am currently at work, trying to steer clear of students. So I'm going to talk real quick. I did finish Grimoire Noir last night. It was, I think I already talked about that. Okay, never mind. So I have started Moth Keeper. Look how cute this naked cover is. It's so... I enjoy it. So I'm not very far in. I'm hoping I can finish it today. The same with Tales from the Inner City tonight. But we'll see about that because I forgot to actually bring it with me to work today, which is fine because I think I'm going to be a little busy. But I should be able to get this done while at work, and Tales from the Inner City at least started. This may end up going an extra day than I expected, but it should be fine. Okay, I think I've done this angle before and I haven't liked it, but I'm done with work. I just wanted to update you before, as I head home, I guess. So I'm still driving safe. You'll not be getting direct eye contact with me. Okay, oh, that's interesting. Okay, I don't think I've done that before. I think I've always had my camera and I don't have it right now, so you're on my cell phone. So we shall see, I guess. Okay, so I have finished The Moth Keeper by Kay O'Neill, and just like Kay O'Neill's other books, The Tea Dragon Society, this was absolutely adorable about Anya, who is part of the Night Village. It's very like almost mythical, folkloric, in that this Night Village is in charge of certain things. Well, not in charge of it, but like the duty of certain things, certain creatures, particularly, sorry, the one that we're most paying attention to is the Moth Keeper. So Anya has dedicated, we're following Anya, who just accepted to be the next Moth Keeper. And it is what it sounds like. It's the keeper of moths. Moths hold a special power in this world. It's very cute. It's Anya's not sure if she necessarily deserves it or is the person for it, but she wants to be someone's light. She wants to feel like she belongs, because she's never really felt that way before. And even now, as she takes up this mantle, literally and figuratively, she doesn't know if she is the one for it. So it's just very cute, and like learning to embody who we are and realize who we have around us to help us in our time of need. It was very cute. 5 out of 5 stars. Kay O'Neill, in my opinion, can do no wrong. It was just absolutely adorable, and the artwork was adorable as well. So, and I love the stories that it told. Very cute. So that's the 4th book that I've completed for my 23 of 2023. The next one will be The Tales from the Inner City by Sean Tan, which hopefully I can either get started tonight and have done by tomorrow. So it's a little over a weekend, but yeah. Okay, quick update. Obviously, it's taken me more than 2 days to finish this damn book. Not that it's a bad thing. I was kind of dragging yesterday when reading it, just because. I mean, this book. This is the one I'm reading currently. A little over halfway through right now. It's an interesting book, though. It's not quite a graphic novel. It's like mixed media of sorts. So it has some of Sean Tan's artwork in there, and that correlates with these short stories that they've done to go along with them. And basically it's this like surreal these surreal stories of like the connection between or integration of nature and urban life, and it's fairly surreal and like kind of fantastical, like fishing in the sky and pulling down a fish while standing on top of a air conditioner unit on top of a building, or like CEOs turning into frogs. It's real interesting and weird, but I kind of like it. I was kind of dragging yesterday about it, mostly because like it's like a mix of stories. There's some poetry in there, some relatively short stories, and then there's a couple of them that are relatively longer, and there was one that I started yesterday that was longer than the others had been, and I'm just kind of like, I kind of just got meh. I got something in my teeth. There we go. But yeah, it's not bad. I'm getting a bit more into it now. But I'm almost done. But yeah, obviously it's taking me a couple more days. So I'll update you as soon as I'm done with it, I guess. So, of course, as soon as I turned the camera off and tried to start reading this again, I'm pretty sure we just had an earthquake. At first I thought someone was moving the car or that something was up with the car. But then I saw that the bank in front of me, their doors were shaking too. So I'll have to look it up later, and because it wasn't big, no one's freaking out. Bank is still open, so we moved slightly. So I got some service and was able to find out that yes, there was a 4.3. About 30-40 miles south of us. So we still felt a little bit. I felt a bit of it, but apparently no one else did. So I'm driving with my mom, who's not in here. She's in another location. Had to go to the store real quick. Sorry. There's something like sitting in my chest. I felt a tickle all morning, and now that it's afternoon, it feels like it's just kind of sitting there itchy, and I'm hoping I'm not getting sick, but that's what it kind of feels like. Brad had a fever last night, so which he refused to admit to me. I knew he freaking had one, and he said he felt pretty lethargic today, and was a little snuffly, and my mom was a little snuffly this morning, but I've been having a dry cough all day, so we'll see how that goes. So excuse me for looking like a hot mess, but if you can't tell by my voice, it turns out I am sick. I had a small cough yesterday. It was kind of a dry cough in my chest, like it was an itch. And then throughout the night, it has manifested itself into a chest congestion. Happy my voice is a little better than it was this morning. Trying to talk to my partner, I was barely above a whisper and my voice kept cracking. So yeah, now it just sounds like I'm congested. But really, like, my head and my nose feel fine. It's just my chest. And of course, this achiness all over my fucking body. So yeah, I'm home from work. Don't look at the laundry. I still have yet to, I did read more of this last night. Still not quite done. It's not going as fast as I thought it would be, which is fine because I'm kind of taking it all in, and I feel like I'm not quite smart enough for this book because of how much surrealism is in here. Like I feel like it's sending me a message and I'm not receiving it. So it's just going right over my head. So, but I'm still enjoying it. I really do enjoy Sean Tan's paintings and the art that they've included in this short story collection. So hopefully I can get it done at some point today or tomorrow, whatever. I'm not, you know what? Life keeps happening. I'm just gonna finish this damn scarf because I'd like to, you know what? It's either the book or the scarf. I'm determined to finish one of them today. So I was about to film my March wrap up when I realized I never actually wrapped up this vlog. So let's kind of, I guess, go over it. So I'm not going to really talk about, let's just talk about what I read in this vlog. So this was the 23 of 2023 reading vlog, part 1. And I completed Daisy Darker. This was back in January. This was not actually part of this vlog. But to kind of catch up, since my 23 of 2023 video didn't actually come, didn't film it till February, didn't edit it till March, didn't post it till March. So to catch up on that, I wanted to do this vlog and spend a weekend reading some of these books that I have given myself to read for 2023. And it went a little bit longer than a weekend. So I completed these 4 books, and ultimately, let's see, let's just get into, I read The Prime Meridian by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. So I thought this was interesting. It was definitely like a splash of real life, like of realities of like unemployment and the struggles people have with employment. So I thought it was very interesting. Ultimately gave it 3 stars. I don't think I'm going to get a physical copy of it, but I am glad that I read another Sylvia Moreno Garcia, because I have like multiple of her books and I've only read 1, so it's good to have another one under the belt. I read Grimoire Noir. Now, the illustrations in here are gorgeous. I absolutely love them. I thought it was really fun. I gave it 4.5 stars. There's definitely elements of this book that I want this to be a series, because there was elements that weren't quite answered or weren't answered as thoroughly as I would have liked them to be. And it feels like there was elements that were quite unfinished that could easily like go into a further plot if it was a series. And next I read The Moth Keeper by Kate O'Neill. This one I do physically own. I pre-ordered this because it did come out in March. Kate O'Neill is also the author of the Tea Dragon Society, that graphic novel trilogy. This is The Moth Keeper. Anya she's part of the Night Village. There needs to be a keeper of the moths, and Anya has taken that mantle up, and she's finding that she's having a hard time because she wants to be able to be the light for someone. She wants to be the light of someone's eye. She wants to be she wants to feel important, and she feels like the Moth Keeper definitely has that role. However, it is very long nights spending by yourself keeping tabs on moths. So she's struggling a bit with this duty, and there's a lot of second guessing and a lot of insecurities that come up from it, and I really kind of just appreciated it, of just like trying to find this place in the world. Anya does have a fun friend who I believe has some mobility disabilities, and is constantly looking out for her, as well as her mentor, and there is a gay relationship in here as well. I don't know, it was just overall very wholesome and cute, and I ultimately loved it. I gave it 5 stars. This very well could be a series, and I would still devour it. The same with the Tea Dragon Society. Kay O'Neill is now like an Autobite author for me. So yeah, really cute. And then this is the one I left off with last time. It was Tales from the Inner City by Sean Tan. I believe the last time I updated you on this, I wasn't quite done and I had just gotten sick. I am still getting over whatever it was I had, so my voice still sounds a little funny. I'm still coughing, so I apologize. I did so there was like 2 to 3 days though where I didn't do anything. I just slept. I didn't want to read. I didn't want, I think I said that I had wanted to finish this or my scarf, and I did eventually finish this, but not within the couple days that I had wanted to. The same with the scarf. But I did finish this, and ultimately, this on Goodreads, this is categorized as a graphic novel. I would almost say a short story collection with elements of the writer's artwork in it. I mean, the artwork does go with the stories, but I feel like I wouldn't consider it a graphic novel, really. But it's an interesting collection of stories, basically, that Sean Tan has written, and this weird mesh of, this is like futurism and urban meets nature, and how animals have kind of integrated themselves within these cities, and how it's really interesting and surreal. There were elements in here that I felt like went over my head quite a bit. I didn't feel like I was smart enough to quite capture what Sean Tan was trying to say. And then there were other ones that I thought were really cool. Particularly there's one about bears and how they end up getting lawyers, and the lawyers end up finding out that bears and everything else on planet Earth basically had laws put into place way before humans came along and put their own laws into place. And that basically these laws that the bears know and believe that humans have broken are above human law. And so it I don't know, it was real interesting and it was real fun. I thought it was like a real, just kind of like, a lot of these stories make me think. So there was another one too where these kids end up fishing, but they don't fish into a river, they fish into the sky. There's like sky fish that they seek. So there were elements like that that I thought were really interesting, and the length of some of these are either really short or really long, and it's interesting. Nonetheless interesting. Of course, some were better than others. There were some that I basically skimmed because I was kind of just over it for some reason. This provoked a lot of strange emotions. I would either be real into it or like I could not care less. So it was real interesting overall, though. I feel like there should be an average. I should average out all these stories, but ultimately I'm just giving it a 3.5 stars to 4 stars. Ultimately, it was enjoyable, but I don't think I'm going to get a physical version. Yeah. So yeah, those were the 23 book, or 4 books that I read for this vlog. I have completed 5 books now for the 23 to read in 2023. I do have some on my April TBR, so hopefully I can do another one of these again soon. If you made it this far, thank you for sticking around. I know it's a long video and I apologize. But let's go ahead and put some kind of fish emoji if you've made it this far, and I hope that you were in the mental mindset to enjoy your reading, and I'll see you in another video very soon. Chew.